Hey, lighten up, jerk!
So when I'm traveling, I'm able to talk about my experiences in Los Angeles, right? Because people always have this idea of LA, like LA people, LA culture, and I love the opportunity to tell them, like, no, people from LA are amazing.
Right.
Like, I have the most genuine and open-minded and kind friends. Like, I can't let you just say those things without me trying to say something to defend, like, the people that I know, right? Because I live there. Here, right? I live here.
Right.
There's so much diversity here too.
Well, we've over the last couple of podcasts, we've kind of talked a little bit about this in a sense too, where we look at things at this great monolith, like it's just this one thing, and it's really, when you break it down and really look into it, it's actually very diverse. And
Yeah.
We've been talking about we've been very theological the last couple episodes. We've talked about Judaism. We've even talked about a lot about like Christian theology, and we kind of, from the outside, people who are not of those things, they just look at it as like this great monolith, and it's like, no, it's actually very diverse. And same thing with the United States. It's a very diverse. Everyone's very, someone from California, even Los Angeles, as opposed to some other Californian city, to someone else from like the East Coast or somewhere in the middle of the country. It's very, very different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
America's so big.
Although I like to pose a theory. I don't think that people from LA are the problem. It's the people that come to LA, the transplants.
I agree with
transplants.
you 1,000%. That's
Exactly.
exactly what I've been
Yep.
saying.
Right.
And
Like,
that's
go
what
away.
I tell people.
We're
That's
full.
what I tell everybody. They're like, oh, these people, like, blah. And I'm like, no, those are the people. Okay, let me explain this to you. I'm like, we, as a city, we just attract a certain type of people.
Unfortunately.
And they're just like all here. So don't judge our city based on people who came here that were attracted to a certain thing, because my crew and like my several other crews I hang out with are down to earth. Like, they're amazing,
Yeah, exactly.
like
It's,
solid people, like genuine, open-minded. Like, they're not going to judge someone based on what they're wearing. They'll talk to you like a person and like make their decision based on that. Like, I know I'm surrounded by people like that. So it really does hurt my feelings when people do talk smack about Los Angeles, and that happens almost every single country I go to.
No, yeah.
It's like
Exactly.
I've grown up here my whole life, and I talk a lot of trash about this city. But at the same time, like, I've lived here my whole life,
But
I can't.
it's your city.
Exactly.
It's like you like crack wise about your mama, but then someone else says something. It's like, what'd you say about my mother?
Yeah, it's like, how dare you, sir?
It's like, only I'm allowed to talk smack about my city.
I
Right.
like it here for sure. But no, that's something I really respect about you, admire about you. I think that's why I'm still friends with you, to be honest. One of the reasons, because you're really open-minded. You're cool. You're down to earth. You keep it real. You're not like some shallow K-town girl. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Can you imagine if I
there's
was-
plenty of
No,
those.
we wouldn't even. I wouldn't even.
I've
have, like,
met my
kept in
few.
touch
I
with
met
you,
a
so,
few in my day.
Yeah. So.
I mean, yeah, they're everywhere, right? In
Yeah.
every country in the world, and I think that's, especially when people ask me about what the political situation is in the United States, and a lot of people are like, "What are you guys thinking?" And I tell them, like, it's not all of us, like
It's all over the place. I'll just say that.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, okay,
Or
you
you
know
could
how
just say
every
like,
country,
we're still here.
yeah, I'm like, you know how every country kind of has, their group of people who just don't really, they think differently, right? Every country has that, right? And when I put it in that way, that's when they understand. They're like, oh, okay, you're right, right? And I was like, our country's just really big, and everyone pays attention to it, and that's the reason why we know it, right? Another thing that I notice when I travel is that some people get very upset when I don't know a lot of things about their country, right? So as much studying as I could do, there are certain things that I wouldn't know, right? And most people are very coachable, right? Not coachable. I'm coachable, but a lot of people are very interested in, teaching me about their culture, about their language, certain things I don't know. And there's certain people that are like, how can you not know about this? Like, why don't you just Google it? Right? And it's like, man, this is really hard, right? Like, it's a very hard response, and I try to respond with as much love as possible.
We could always say like, well, I'd rather talk to you about it and learn it from you.
What I say, and it's very similar to that, what I say is, you're right in a lot of ways. We don't know a lot of things, but the reason is because all eyes are on us, right?
Yeah, we're the Tupac of the world.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like countries all over the world know about their news and about American news, right? So they assume that we know about our news and whatever country they're from news. And I have to explain to them, like, you know, yes, we don't know a lot that's going on, but it's because there's so much news and attention in our country that
Yeah.
the news
Right.
that we're hearing is about my country. You have the luxury of learning about what's going on in my place and what's going on in your place because you live there. But I live in Los Angeles where news is like flowing out 24/7. Like we do the best that we can, and I truly believe that, right? And
Right.
you do meet people like that who are like, oh, why are you Americans like so this, and they're so ignorant, they don't know that. I'm like, I'm sorry, like,
It's like, so what if you
I-
happen to not know everything about the
Well-
country?
like I'm sorry,
mean,
I'm not.
Sorry that I don't care about Scandinavia, but you know, we've kind of talked about this a little bit too. Whereas, you know, we are at a time where we have more access to information than we've ever had in human history, but there's only so much that the human mind can really take in, and you know, it's how are we utilizing that information. Sometimes you do get focused in on like I'm from Los Angeles, and you're focusing in on a career, and that's you could spend 40 years just on that one point. So as far as if you decide to be a world traveler, you kind of have to be a jack of all trades,
Yeah.
and it's hard because I know this or that, but I don't really know everything. And
Yeah, I
so
mean-
It's hard to
I mean, yeah, they're expecting people to be to know everything. That's kind of it's a little frustrating. It's like, I mean, give me a break.
It is a little, and that's what I had to learn how to respond to that in a loving
Right.
way,